Okay, so I need to be really honest with you about something. Tomorrow isn't just another day, and I know that sounds dramatic, but hear me out on this one. December 18th is bringing something I genuinely believe we've all been desperately needing. It's called a Venus Trine Chiron, and while that might sound like astrology jargon, what it actually means is that the universe is about to offer you the healing you didn't even know was possible, like the exact healing for the exact wound you've been carrying. And I don't say that lightly, because here's the thing, the past few weeks have been brutal for so many of us. Have you been feeling it? That crushing weight, that sense of hitting wall after wall, relationships feeling strained, self-doubt creeping in harder than usual. There's a reason for that, and tomorrow all of that pressure finally gets its release valve. Now, if you've been waking up exhausted even after a full night's sleep, or feeling this bone-deep fatigue that coffee can't even touch, stay with me on this one. There's a very specific reason that's been happening, and I'm going to explain exactly what your body's been doing to prepare for this shift. But first, I really need you to understand something. This isn't just happening to you. This is collective. We've all been going through a cosmic pressure cooker, and tomorrow is when the lid finally comes off. And honestly, the relief is going to be profound. Let me explain what's actually been happening. You've been breaking because you were meant to heal. So here's what I've come to understand about these past few weeks, and maybe this will make sense of what you've been experiencing. We haven't just been having a hard time. We've been going through what I'd call a controlled demolition. Have you noticed how it feels like everything you try to force just won't move, like you're pushing against a door that refuses to open? Or maybe you've been feeling this weird sense of isolation, like even the people closest to you can't really reach you right now. That's not random. I really believe that's Saturn's influence. It's been squaring both Mars and Venus, creating this cosmic friction that's been grinding us all down. And I know that sounds rough, but here's what I've realized. This breaking wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to show you exactly where you've been holding yourself together with band-aids instead of real healing. Does that resonate? Think about it. The places where you felt the most frustrated, the most stuck, the most broken lately, those are the exact places where you've probably been forcing yourself to be okay for way too long. The relationships that have felt strained, those are the ones where boundaries were already weak, the self-doubt that's been crushing you. That's highlighting where you haven't been valuing yourself properly. I really think the universe has been setting us up, not in a cruel way, but in that way where sometimes things have to get worse before they can get better. You know what I mean? Like when you finally clean out that closet you've been avoiding, and midway through it looks like a disaster zone, but you know it's necessary to get to the other side. That's what's been happening energetically. We've been in the messy middle, but tomorrow is when we start putting things back together. Except this time, we're building on a foundation that's actually solid. The fire trine that changes everything. Alright, so let me break down what's actually happening tomorrow, because this is where it gets really interesting. Venus in Sagittarius is forming a trine with Chiron in Aries. Now, I know that might sound technical, but stay with me because this is important. Both of these are in fire signs, which means this isn't some gentle, passive healing. This is active, it's dynamic, it's the kind of healing that reignites your spark. And honestly, after the exhaustion we've all been feeling, I think that's exactly what we need. Venus in Sagittarius is all about finding meaning in love, seeing the bigger picture, wanting freedom and truth in our connections. But Chiron in Aries, that's where our deepest identity wound lives. It's that core hurt of, am I enough? Do I have the right to exist? Is my will valid? When these two connect tomorrow in this harmonious trine, something shifts. It's like Venus is looking at that wounded part of you and saying, you know what? Your wound doesn't disqualify you from love. Actually, it makes you more interesting, more real, more worthy of the adventure. And here's what really gets me about this. It's happening right as Venus approaches the Galactic Center, that point in the sky that's literally the center of our galaxy. I believe that means this healing isn't just personal. It's cosmic. It's ancestral. It's touching something way deeper than just our individual stories. I've been feeling this building for days now, this sense that something big is about to shift, and maybe you have too, that restless feeling, that sense of anticipation mixed with exhaustion. Your body knows something's coming. Your body has been preparing, even if your mind didn't know. This is the part that really fascinates me. Have you been experiencing weird physical symptoms lately? And I mean weird, like headaches that feel more like pressure than pain, especially at the top of your head. Or this bone-deep exhaustion that doesn't make sense based on what you've actually been doing. Here's what I think is happening. Your body has been trying to process this energy shift before it even arrives. It's like your physical system has been doing this massive software update in the background, preparing for tomorrow's download. Some people have been telling me they've had joint aches, digestive issues, or this feeling like they're fighting off a cold that never quite arrives. And honestly, I don't think that's illness. I think that's integration. Your body is literally making space for a new frequency. And that exhaustion you've been feeling, the one where you could sleep for 12 hours and still wake up tired, I really believe that's because this isn't physical tiredness. It's energetic depletion from all the internal processing you've been doing. You've been shedding old patterns at a cellular level, even if you weren't consciously aware of it. The fascinating thing is that Mars, which rules Chiron in Aries, just moved into Capricorn a few days ago. Mars in Capricorn is incredibly strong and stable. So while your heart and spirit are getting this healing download tomorrow, your will and drive are actually getting stronger. It's like the universe is giving you both the healing and the strength to integrate it properly. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by all this, you're not alone. I've been going through it too, but here's what I want you to know. This isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The wound becomes the map. Okay, so this is where I think it gets really profound. Tomorrow's healing isn't about erasing your wounds or pretending they never happened. That's not how real healing works, right? What I believe Venus Trine Chiron does is something way more powerful. It shows you that your wounds are actually your wisdom, that broken place in you. That's not a defect. It's literally the map to your highest potential. Think about Chiron's mythology for a second. He was the wounded healer, the one who could heal everyone else but couldn't heal himself. In Aries, that wound is about identity itself. It's that core feeling of, I'm not enough, or I shouldn't even exist. Heavy stuff, I know. But when Venus in Sagittarius, the planet of love in the sign of truth and adventure, makes this beautiful aspect to that wound, something shifts. Suddenly, the wound isn't something to hide. It becomes part of your story, part of what makes you interesting, part of what qualifies you to help others who have similar wounds. I really think that's the gift tomorrow. You get to see your brokenness not as something that needs fixing, but as something that makes you uniquely qualified for your path. Does that make sense? And here's what's wild. This is happening right before a new moon that's literally aligned with the Galactic Center. We're talking about a complete reset at the deepest cosmic level. The healing tomorrow isn't just patching you up so you can go back to your old life. It's preparing you for something entirely new. You might not recognize yourself after this. So here's something I really want you to be prepared for. You might wake up on December 19th feeling fundamentally different. Not in a dramatic, everything has changed way, but in this subtle, profound way where you just respond differently. That trigger that usually sets you off, it might not land the same way. That person who always gets under your skin, you might find yourself just not caring as much. That fear that's been running your life, it might suddenly feel smaller, less significant. I think what's happening is that we're getting an upgrade to our emotional operating system. The old programs, the ones based on wounds and trauma and fear, they're being overwritten. And what's replacing them is something based on self-acceptance and authentic power. But here's the thing I really want you to understand. This isn't going to be the same for everyone. Fire signs might feel it as a surge of confidence and courage. Water signs might experience it as emotional release and deep intuitive knowing. Earth signs might suddenly see practical solutions to problems that seemed impossible. Air signs might have breakthrough conversations that resolve years of conflict. The point is, the healing meets you where you are. It gives you what you specifically need, and that's why I think this is so rare and so precious. The shadow side no one's talking about. Okay, I need to be real with you about something. Not everyone is going to handle this energy well, and I think it's important you know this going in. When this much healing energy floods the collective, some people can't process it. Instead of allowing the healing, they might resist it. And when people resist healing, things can get messy. You might see people around you acting out tomorrow and over the next few days. Old relationship dynamics might explode. People might make sudden, dramatic decisions that seem to come from nowhere. Some folks might even project their stuff onto you, trying to make their discomfort your problem. Here's what I really want you to remember if this happens. It's not personal. When people are faced with the opportunity to heal and they're not ready, they often lash out. They create chaos to avoid feeling what needs to be felt. Your job is to hold your center, to receive your healing and not get pulled into other people's resistance. And honestly, this might mean you need to be selective about who you spend time with over the next few days. That's not being antisocial, that's being wise. How to actually receive this gift. So here's the practical part. How do you actually work with this energy tomorrow? Because I really believe there's a difference between just letting it happen and actively receiving it. First, pay attention to what comes up for you emotionally. If old memories surface, if tears come, if anger rises, let it. This is part of the healing. The emotion needs to move through you to be released. Second, notice where you feel called to set boundaries. Venus square Saturn, which is also active right now, is all about getting real about what's sustainable in relationships. If something needs to end or be redefined, tomorrow's energy will make that crystal clear. Third, and this is important, don't rush to fill the space that opens up. When healing happens, it creates room. You might feel this urge to immediately fill that space with new plans, new relationships, new commitments. But I really think you should wait. Let the space be empty for a minute. See what wants to naturally emerge. And finally, trust what you feel drawn toward. Venus Trine Chiron often brings people, opportunities or realizations that feel fated. If something or someone suddenly appears in your life tomorrow or in the days following, pay attention. It might be exactly what you need for this next chapter. The galactic download that follows. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The day after this healing, December 19th and 20th, we have a new moon that's literally conjunct the galactic center. I cannot overstate how powerful this is. The galactic center is like the cosmic motherboard. It's where spiritual downloads come from. It's the source of evolutionary upgrades. And having a new moon there, right after this major healing, that's not coincidence. That's divine timing. What I think is happening is this. Tomorrow's Venus Chiron trine clears the old wounds and patterns. It creates space. And then the Galactic Center New Moon fills that space with new cosmic programming. It's like getting therapy and then immediately downloading a new operating system. The intentions you set on that new moon are going to be supercharged, but here's the key. They need to come from this healed place, not from your wounds. That's why the healing has to come first. Some of you might experience this as sudden clarity about your life purpose. Others might receive creative downloads or innovative solutions. And some might just feel this deep, unshakable knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. This is your Phoenix moment. Do you know what this whole sequence reminds me of? The Phoenix myth. First, everything burns down. That's been the Saturn squares breaking us down. Then tomorrow, we rise from those ashes with this Venus Chiron healing. And then the Galactic Center New Moon gives us our new wings. I really believe December 18th marks a turning point, not just in the year, but in your personal evolution, the person you've been trying to become, the healing you've been seeking, the breakthrough you've been waiting for. It's all converging right now. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to do anything to deserve this. You don't have to be perfect or ready or healed already. This gift is coming regardless. All you have to do is receive it. But here's what I really want you to understand. The breaking you've been experiencing wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Every frustration, every closed door, every moment of feeling stuck, it was all leading to this moment of breakthrough. Tomorrow, the universe is essentially saying, I see your wounds, I see your struggles, and I'm going to transform them into your greatest strengths. How powerful is that? Look, if you're still here with me, thank you, seriously. I know this has been a lot to take in, but I really felt called to share all of this with you. Tomorrow is significant, and I wanted you to be prepared. If this resonated with you, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me reach more people who need to hear these messages. And honestly, drop a comment below about what you've been experiencing. Have you been feeling this build-up? What's been breaking down in your life? I read every single comment, and I love hearing your stories because we really are all going through this together. Take care of yourself over these next few days. Be gentle with yourself. Let the healing happen. And remember, you're not broken. You never were. You're just becoming more authentically you. I'll see you on the other side of this shift. And trust me, it's going to be beautiful.